Good morning, people. It is very rare that I start a video whilst still in bed. In fact, I don't remember the last time I did it, but today is an exciting day and I'm raring to go. I might not look it because I haven't had my morning coffee yet, but you will notice at the end of the bed I have already prepared the morning coffee ingredients. And something else that you may well notice is that we have an exquisite view out the front of the van. I have to say I had a pretty good night's sleep as well, and the reason why today is so exquisite is because I have booked into the barn to start the build officially as of today. Well, today is going to be pretty much a day of organisation, prep work and maybe a little start to the actual build itself. But I am here, I am officially here. I've just made a code brown discovery. Don't worry, I didn't have a trouser accident in the night, but somebody did. Look at the state of that. It runs all the way from there, all the way down here. Although, to be fair, that's helped me make my mind up because I didn't know whether to get the van washed before I started this build. Reason why I was thinking of doing it is because I am fitting windows myself. I'm not getting anyone else to do it. I will be cutting holes in the van as one of the first jobs. So I kind of want the surface clean anyway, although the van wash place around here is useless. So I'll go and get it washed and then I'll come back and I'll give it a once over myself. But as you're about to see, that is the least of my worries because I have a huge amount of things here that I need to sort through. Basically, this here is my bay. This entire thing is what I've rented for the month. That unit, or whatever the hell that is behind there, it looks like a gigantic sewing machine. Who knows? But that's not mine. Other than that, everything is. So this stuff here is... that's all the old seats that I pulled out of the van, tools and stuff, and this is all the stuff that's arrived for me whilst I've been gone. There's also all this stuff here on the bench as well, and the all-important ladder. So for the next hour or two, I'm basically going to be organising my bay, setting everything out ready to go, and then after that I'll probably go and get the van washed and then head back here to crack on. It is now 3 hours later. It hasn't taken all that time just to do the organisation. I had a slight issue with one of my videos. I basically forgot to put a QR code on the screen. So because of that QR code, I had to re-edit, re-render, and then re-upload, and then check it for mistakes and all that. So it took a bit of extra time, but I've done the organisation. So well, first of all, let me show you in the back of the van. So we are completely empty in here, back to a blank canvas. Do you know what? Even though it's really hot outside, in here, it still feels pretty cool. I think this is the benefit of a white van. In fact, so this is another Transit Custom in black. God, it's well hot in here. There's a massive difference. I'll tell you what, if I do get it wrapped, I'm going for a light colour. Hello, Charlie. You enjoying the sun? But yeah, welcome to my freshly organised bay. So first of all, this wall along the back are all my tools. That's just my bed, obviously. It folds up nice and neat. That is just a temporary bed that I'm using whilst I'm doing the build. But it's convenient to get in and out. And then we've got the ladder and that behind there. And then we've got all of my tools in separate boxes. So there's like hand tools in there. That is power tools. I think that's all the electrical bits. And there's just random small tools on top. My circular saw and knee pads and just random stuff in that. And then moving on to the back wall, this is some of the supplies that I've had sent here. I believe this is all like ply panelling for the walls in the van. That's a bit of plastic trim. There's some material in there, wheel box covers, more material in there, a couple of fans. Those things are amazing, by the way. They're built for the boat industry, but people are starting to use them in vans. Trust me, they look so good. I'll show you them shortly when they're being installed. Don't know what that is. Oh, that's a CCTV and no idea what that is. Oh, the new windows. And then moving around to this side of the barn, that's just my pile of rubbish. These 3 scooters, I think I'm going to do a raffle at some point. Not only those, but also I've got loads of stuff in my storage back home, from power stations to aircon units to fridges. You name it, it's all going to get raffled at some point on this channel, probably one a week. And this here on the table I've been saving to show you guys, because this is the old wet belt. In fact, let's take it out into the sun so you can see the state of it. I mean, I wouldn't have known what I was looking for, to be honest. It doesn't look that bad to me, but when you squeeze it, you can see like all the little cracks showing up. And apparently that does not happen on a fresh new one. So that is going in my rubbish pile. And finally, we got all of these products here. That's for the insulation and sound deadening. I'm going to crack on with that shortly. But first, I'm absolutely starving. All about to eat today, or drink, eat sort of thing, is one of these So I'm going to get myself a nice little snack with the help of today's video sponsor, which is Jackery. So this is the Jackery 3000 version 2. This is the brand new unit that's just come out. So let's create a few meat Twixes, stick them in the air fryer, 220 degrees for 20 minutes. And whilst that feast is cooking up, let me read you some of the stats. So straight from the box, you can see that the capacity is 3072 watt hours, which is the equivalent of a 256 amp hour leisure battery. Also, it runs appliances up to 3600 watt. And as you can see, this unit is actually on 61%. Now, personally, I've only ever charged it up once. That's when I first got it. Since then, I've already cooked a meal for 20 minutes in the air fryer. You saw that on the last video. You also saw me boil a kettle this morning. I've actually done that once off camera as well. And I've been running a fridge on it for 3 days. Up here, we've got a 12 volt outlet. We've got 2 USB-C sockets, 2 standard USB sockets, and 3 3-pin plug sockets as well. And I'm sure you already know this, but Jackery is a big, well-known name in the game. They've been making power stations for years, so they're solid, they're reliable, they're safe. They're just a good choice overall. So I will stick a link down in the description below if you want to go and check that out. Oh, would you look at the glory? Would anybody like a fleshy Twix? But after all of that, we are on 49%. Yeah, tuck right in, mate. I do want to know what you think.
That's all right. Yeah, that's good.
Well, I don't know about all right.
I wouldn't go and work for Ramsey if I were you.
So I've just had a text message. Well, actually, I've got it this morning saying something's been delivered, but nothing has been delivered. So I'm going to go and check it out. And the method of transport to get to the entrance is, of course, one of my scooters. This is not, whoa, bump. This is not the easiest thing to do, filming and scooting at the same time. My left hand is taken up with the camera, so I've got no brake, effectively. Right, where are we then? Why is there a massive cars at the entrance? Where the hell is my delivery? Hopefully it hasn't gone missing, but at the moment it is nowhere to be seen. I've just found these bits on my bench. There's 2 packages there, but that's from Amazon. That's not the same company that texted, so who knows? All right, the plot thickens. So I've just checked the tracking, right? And it says it was delivered this morning and signed for by, I won't say his surname, but it was Aid's surname. And there was a picture of Aid holding the box. It's definitely his shorts in the picture. So now we have a culprit, but we still don't have the package. Right, hold on. Okay, I'm going to have to admit I've made a mistake. No, the reason why is because it said it's from a diesel heater company on the tracking, but it's these fans. I forgot the same company that sells diesel heaters sold me those fans. My mistake.
Is this?
Sorry,
is this,
Aid.
oh, look. It's your #1 fan as well.
It is my #1 fan. I've been running and scooting around all over the place trying to find that. I've already unpackaged it earlier. Right, so this is one of the deliveries that has come. This is exciting, right? It's not for the van build itself, but it is a head strap. So if you watched the last video, you'll already know this, but I'm basically doing daily vlogs of the build. I'm going to do it with like a point of view thing, so I can show everything as I'm doing it. That's going to be over on my Patreon, not on this channel, because as I said, I don't want to do a full in-depth build series on this channel. But the link's down below if you want to check out daily vlogs. In fact, by the time this video comes out, there's probably already like 3 or 4 on there already. Right, let's get the old aircon on before I keel over. I know I said it was cool in the back, but out in the front here, it is relentlessly hot. Right, let's go and get this absolute weapon rinsed down. I can feel the van's sins getting washed clean away. Either they've done a far better job this time, or you just can't see the streaks because it's white. But either way, she is looking fresh and she's now lodged in her nest, ready to be built upon, or within even. Within, built within. Where the hell do I begin? Building vans is a lot like pregnancy. The idea of it is extremely exciting. Even the very beginning preparation stages is extremely exciting. But as it starts and progresses, you start to question your life choices and wonder what the hell you're doing. And by the end of it, you're so exhausted and you're fed up and you've literally had enough. And then by the time it's all over and finished, you swear to yourself that you are never, ever going to do it again. But about a year or 2 goes by and you start forgetting the pain, the suffering, the relentless work, and you start thinking that you want to do it again. So you start planning, and then you make the grand mistake of actually going ahead with it. And it's not until the whole cycle starts all over again that you realise the misery, the pain and the suffering. What have I done? Okay, I've pulled myself together. Let's crack on. So, sound deadening. This is insulation, and this fluffy stuff here is also insulation. It's by a company called Dodo Matt. They are the only company that I trust with this sort of stuff because I've used them on both of my last builds, and I have tested it as well because obviously I've been to the Arctic, and this stuff kept the cold out when I was there. Now, I was going to rip this stuff up and replace it, but I have discovered under here somewhere, I've stuck it back down now, but basically I looked under there and it turns out that stuff is the good gear. It is this stuff here. So all I need to do, well, I've got two options: either fill those patches and leave it as it is, but because this is old and it's all been squashed down by the original floor, I think what I'm going to do is just go over the whole lot with a fresh layer as well. But the first job is always to do sound deadening. Now, there is some on the roof, and again, that is also from Dodo Matt, so that's the good stuff. But they have gone a bit excessive with it up there on the roof. You don't need that much. You only need, like, on those panels at the back there, for example, you only need, I don't know, like 50% coverage to do the job. But these ones on the back wall here I found are not Dodo Matt, and you can literally tell the difference in quality. So if we get a fresh sheet of the good stuff here, you can feel it's thicker, it's more rigid, and this stuff is just flimsy as anything. And the whole point of that is it's supposed to stick to the panel and just make it more of a rigid structure to stop it sort of vibrating. That's what stops the noise. So we need to replace those back ones with this. And also, the proper stuff doesn't come off this easily. This stuff was clinging on like a dying antelope to a leaf. Don't know what that means, but that I can already feel is far better. And I actually have this tool which Dodo Matt themselves supplied me with last year. Plug it in and make sure that it's never going to budge. I mean, look at the state of this one. Look, it's like tissue paper stuck on with prick stick. Just ripped it off. Anyway, I'm going to crack on and remove those other cheap bits and put on the good stuff, and then we'll see what's next. Okay, here's what's happened. So, I have done the wheel arches as well. Now, I know I just said not to cover the full thing, 100% coverage, but I think the wheel arches are different because that's the most noisy area in the van. Also, I've ripped out all of this fluff from all the little caves within the van because I need to access those back panels so that I can put this stuff down first before I then put some brand new fluff back in. But this is becoming dangerously close to being a build video, so I'm going to leave that stuff there, and shortly I will be getting some sleep. Tomorrow I don't have anything else to do other than the build though, but that's when I'm going to start doing my daily vlogs for the build series. That'll be over on Patreon. Again, the link will be in the description. But for now, I'm going to tidy up all of that mess, and I'm going to start getting ready for bed.
Still look naked.
It's far too early to go to bed, so I'm going to have another beer and relax.
The only time I look natural is with a beer in my hand.
I'm now fresh out the shower and ready for bed, but I haven't eaten yet still. But I haven't eaten carbs for 3 weeks to this date, so today's the first day that I'm allowed to eat them again. So I've gone and got myself a Domino's, mainly because where I live they don't do what's called the double decadence base. I've tried to get in it in a few different places, but they do round here. They used to have it where I live and they stopped doing it. For those who don't know, the double decadence base is basically two really thin crusts, and inside the crust, look, I'll show you, inside the crust there's a cheese sauce. It's like a Bible verse in edible form. And honestly, that is the one. You need to check your local Domino's, right? Look at all the base options. If they have double decadence, order it. Anyway, today, as you saw, was just mainly a lot of prep work, organising the barn. And behind the scenes, there was just so much YouTube work that fell upon my face. Not just what I mentioned earlier, but more stuff as well that I didn't expect to have to do today, but I did. And that took up most of the day. But as of tomorrow, I am literally cracking on with this build. No excuses, no slowing down. It's full steam ahead. So I'm going to finish this pizza, get me some sleep, and I will see you guys in the morning. Good morning, people. The day has arrived. It is build day. I don't know if you can hear that. Someone last night managed to catch a brontosaurus over in the fields over there, and we've basically got him in the barn now. He's up the back. I can't really show you because he's a bit shy. Oh, he's gone quiet. But he is in there, trust me. But yeah, today is official build day. It is the 1st of July. Hopefully, when you guys see me next on this channel anyway, the van will be looking a lot more, well, not finished, nowhere near finished, but it'll be looking a lot more livable. Hopefully there'll be walls and all sorts. I'll quickly show you what I'm going to be doing today. So the main jobs that I'm looking at are this, which is the CCTV kit. Now, as some of you know, the CCTV I had in my last van, I did love that CCTV, but the link was taken down, the product was taken off eBay. So no one was able to get it. Well, I found a very similar one. It's not quite the same, but it's similar. I won't give you the link yet because obviously if it's no good, I don't want to promote something to you guys that's rubbish. But once I've tested it out, I can let you know exactly which this model is. And the other job, which I'm hoping to do today, the worrying job, is that they are side windows. I've never done windows before. So shortly I'm going to be cutting the holes here and on the other side. Fingers crossed I cut them correctly, and then I'll have windows in the van. But I'm pretty sure that's it as far as holes in the outside of the van are concerned. That's why I'm doing those two jobs first. And then from there it'll be putting up the walls and the floor and all of that, and getting a proper blank canvas inside before I start working on the furniture and the main layout. And just a quick note, oh, the Bronto's back. Can you hear him? He's having his breakfast. But yeah, just to remind you, the full build is going onto my Patreon as daily vlogs. It's going to be very, very simple filming and editing for that. I literally don't have the time to sort of polish the videos like I do when I post to YouTube. But if you want to follow along with the build, that's going to be over there. I'll stick the link down in the description below. Right now, I am going to head to the supermarket, stock up on some food so that I don't have to leave here again for a while. And I don't want to rely on takeaways anymore. I'm going to try and eat a little bit better this week. Trust me, it's going to happen. But then from there, I will start cracking on with cutting holes in the van. If there's a disaster, I'm sure you'll hear about it. But if not, hopefully next time you see me, the absolute beaut will be looking even better inside. And then it won't be long before we can go on some sort of adventure. I'm really looking forward to taking that thing out when it's fully functional and I've got all the fans working with nice airflow in there to remove some of this excessive heat. But thank you guys so much for watching. As always, it's massively appreciated, and I will catch you on the next episode.